Howdy, partners.
What?
It's Podcast Unlocked. I was trying to kind of keep you on your toes.
Yeah,
every
I didn't
week,
see that
Mitch.
coming at all.
Hi, y'all.
Howdy, y'all. It's Podcast Unlocked, the world's #1 Xbox podcast, episode 210. September's
palindrome.
here.
No, it's gonna
I
work out
don't
one of
think
these
that's
days.
how that works.
I think you're gonna have to wait
Two weeks.
two more episodes for that.
Anyway, I'm Ryan McCaffrey. To my left, Mitch Dyer.
Howdy, howdy.
Welcome back from PAX.
Hey, hi.
Nope.
Good day.
That's not
Where are
quite
you-
right either.
Where are you from again?
Alberta, Canada.
Don't they have Cowboys there?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
So you should
Home
know.
of the Calgary Stampede.
That's what I thought. Elena Yee, hi.
Hi.
Complete tangent.
Uh-huh.
Just going to turn my attention immediately away from Mitch.
Like you do.
That's what happens.
It's okay. I'm here to be a distraction.
How are you?
All right.
Gearing up for more fun times with Apple announcing yet another iPhone.
Oh yeah, that's happening soon, right?
It's happening
Next
soon.
week.
Oof.
Next week.
In the meantime, we're going to talk about some Xbox hardware. That's exciting.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later in the show. In the meantime, Mitch, regale
Yes,
us
sir.
with PAX stories.
I played. I'm trying to think. I think I played literally 0 Xbox games. I didn't set foot in the Microsoft booth. I didn't play a ton of games. I played a ton on the Vive VR headset again.
Oh, yeah.
Elena and I saw that at GDC.
That's the one I still haven't tried. I've tried Morpheus and Oculus.
So good.
Have they shown any more Portal-related stuff?
No, but I did do it again. I did do the Portal demo again.
yeah?
Because basically, like, they had a Valve set up, like a Valve suite to go check it out.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, so you've done this a couple times. Like, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, show me the 2 new games. Let me do the painting thing again because that was really cool. And then let me do, I want to do the Dota thing and I want to do the Portal thing, and both of them were great. Marty went and did that too. Marty did the Dota demo and walked out and he's like, that's the best thing I've ever done in VR. A Dota thing.
Wow.
So good.
There you go.
Vive is awesome.
Well, Marty is just taking some comp days because he's been on the road for about 2 weeks straight, working
Yeah.
every single day. So he'll be back on the show next week. But he played Homefront: The Revolution,
Yes.
which he's got a preview up on IGN. I did not know that was going to be playable at PAX.
I didn't either.
Highly encourage everybody to go read Marty's preview on that. And Marty also played a new chunk of Rise of the Tomb Raider. So
Nice.
very much encourage everyone to go check that out as well. I played another game that was at PAX. I got to play it here,
Oh, yeah.
and that was Minecraft Story Mode,
Oh, yeah?
which, it's just a little slice. It's not enough to know if I'm going to actually care about the story, but
Yeah.
the performances, led by Patton Oswalt,
Of course.
super engaging. And
Or
like,
Kat Tabor, I found out.
Yes,
for the,
if you
for
play
the
as the
female Jessie,
female-
which is
female
awesome because
Jessie.
Kat Tabor's great. She's
Yes.
Padme in the Clone Wars.
Totally. So, plenty of good stuff happening on IGN. We actually structured that Minecraft preview a little differently. Jared Petty, the Reverend, who's a Minecraft
Yep.
veteran, he wrote his experience as a Minecraft, like, how is this Minecraft adventure game from
Yes.
Telltale as a Minecraft fan? And I came at it from the other side of, well, I'm a Telltale fan, but not a Minecraft fan. What did I think of it? So take a look on IGN if you get a chance. The Dookie is here. Well,
Indeed.
Mitch, you've got a chance to pad your lead
Yeah,
over
everyone's out.
both Marty
So
and...
good.
They're applauding
Everyone's
the Dookie outside.
Yeah.
Just
knew.
random applause outside the office. But yeah, no Marty and no Destin again.
Just the way I like
So
it.
you've got a chance to pad your lead. Now, the winner, just for having their question chosen this week, you're in line for this
Yes.
at the end of the year. But for this week,
Oh, you're going to do like an actual reveal. What?
I'm not going to take it out because I already made a
of
video
course.
about that, and these things are annoying to pack up nicely.
Yeah, they're
But
a mess.
in here is not just a regular Xbox. It is a custom Gears of War painted
Nice.
console. Super nice. Controller's even done up in a matching color as well. So the winner of that, we'll have that later on in the show. You're gonna take this, or it's going to arrive at your doorstep
Is this the most expensive prize we've ever had?
by a mile. Yeah, I don't think it's even close.
Excellent. Excellent.
So stay tuned later in the show for the Unlock Block trivia section, and we'll give that away. And for
Very
now,
exciting.
we'll be right back, talk a little Xbox hardware right after this. All right, news time. Pardon
Yeah.
my sore throat this week. I think College Duke's going to have to take a break. Voice is gone.
I'm sure
today.
half the audience is devastated, and the other half is like, "Oh my god, thank you."
They are. That
Thank you.
that was sort of the reaction. I knew it was funny the first time because we just happened upon it.
Yeah.
And it was a totally organic thing. And then, then when we tried to work it into last week with just you and I could tell. I was like, it's not the same.
It's like the burrito.
Wait, I,
Yeah,
You never
pretty
know
much.
when it'll be back.
Or
the screwdriver thing or
yeah,
whatever.
Drilly the drill.
Drilly
you go
the
way
drill.
back. way back in show history.
Great.
It's just these things that happen on their own.
I just need to know, are either of you carrying the PAX Pox?
I wasn't at PAX.
I know, but you sit near people. Who
I was
could have
out
given it to
yesterday
you.
because I wasn't like sick, but I woke up and was just like, I cannot
Actually,
move. I
nobody
need to stay home.
nobody I sat near was at PAX.
Really?
Nobody
well,
in
go
my.
Farb.
He doesn't face me.
That's true.
I'm not in his oxygen.
You're back to back. He's not
His-
breathing on you.
Yeah, that's not
He's
happening.
Sneezing on you.
All right.
Let's talk a little Xbox hardware. Remember the Xbox 360 Elite?
I do.
I have one.
It
Me
was
too.
black.
Yep.
Had an It was the first Xbox to have an HDMI port, and it
Whoa,
had.
really?
Remember that?
I didn't know
That
it
was
did-
the first motherboard revision.
Oh, 'cause it had
the
this-
Zephyr,
yeah.
Zephyr motherboard
Yeah,
revision.
yeah.
So that was where you could first get HDMI on an Xbox 360, and it was at the time the biggest hard drive.
120, right?
I believe that's
Yeah.
correct. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking, and I'm glad you said it. Yeah, the
waited
120
for
hard
that
drive.
one.
So the Xbox Elite is back for Xbox One. Elena, tell us about it.
Okay, so it's super fancy. Has a hybrid.
It's super fancy, says
Well-
IGN.com.
That's quotable. Put that on the box.
Exactly.
Comes with a hybrid hard drive, so that's the kind of hard drive that has an SSD like partition,
Right.
for lack of a better way of putting it. And
That's cool.
You know, also a standard mechanical drive. And
So does
Yeah.
it boot faster?
so the way it's supposed to work is that any data that gets accessed frequently will get copied over to the
wow.
SSD part of
Does it
the
just
drive.
learn? It's like, oh, you're playing a
Yeah,
lot of
it's supposed-
Battlefield.
yeah,
I'm
it's
just going to
supposed
launch
to
that.
learn
first.
it.
But we don't know how big the SSD partition is.
Right. We don't know the specs of the actual hard drive yet, but they're
Oh,
saying
that's kind of
It's
exciting.
a 1 terabyte.
it's
though,
a one. Well, I
overall.
mean, overall, yes, it's 1 terabyte, but we don't know
But
what
they're
the,
not like broadcasting what the partition is.
yeah, like the
Why?
specs of the hard drive itself.
Why?
Well, I mean,
It's
well, they
probably
didn't-
really small, is why.
Well, they didn't also give that much detail about the internal hard drive, so like we don't know who manufactured it.
This sounds like a leak, not an announcement.
No, it was
This is
announced
just
on
no
Xbox
information.
Live. Well, no, it's just it's so technical that
Yeah,
you
of
know
course.
it's not really
The granularity isn't super interesting
absolutely
for the public.
So it's on Xbox Wire, and they were saying that it's 1 terabyte, hybrid hard drive, supposed to load things up to 20% faster.
load up
from-
from energy saving mode.
Right. So
Yeah, out of
basically,
booting up.
right. So if you turn your machine on and you hop into a game, it's supposed to be up to 20% faster.
Okay, that's
So-
pretty good.
Yeah, and then this system also comes with an Elite controller.
Yeah, the $150
Mm-hmm.
thing with the removable trigger or removable thumbsticks and the back customizable
It
back.
is a massive bummer this doesn't come with a regular controller. Like because
well,
the Elite
just all you have to do is if you just take the little, because everything's held on, it's all magnetized.
Yeah.
So if you don't want the back
Yeah.
rear handle
Paddles,
button things, just take them off.
Yeah, I guess the rest of the controller is the same, right?
With an upgraded
the
D-pad,
cool
it's got that
D-pad,
cool
yeah.
disc D-pad.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So
Okay.
all that in a bundle for $500.
I actually think this is a really good deal.
Yeah, that
when
controller
I
is
look at it
so
because
expensive.
It's it's a $150
Yeah.
controller, and even though I think what we need to be clear about is this isn't likely to speed up games loading
Right, like
times
your
at all.
load times, your frame rates, they're all going to be the same.
So frame rates and that sort of thing is going to be pretty similar across the board. It
Well,
is
frame rates
possible-
are governed by the
Yeah.
GPU and
Well, it's,
nothing to
it's
do with the
governed
hard
by
drive.
how the game has been actually programmed, right?
Right.
Like how optimized it is. But in terms of loading things, you'll probably see some differences just from. So when we did some tests in the office for PlayStation 4 hard drives,
Yes,
you know,
it's
kind
that
of-
one you can swap out the
yeah,
internal.
exactly. So you can we compared a hybrid drive to an SSD to a standard mechanical drive. You can see some improvements, but they're pretty minor. And
Yeah.
then there's that really great article by Digital Foundry that they put out last October.
Yes.
That went super in depth into this. And if you look at the numbers, I mean, it's like for load times of games, it's anywhere from like 14 seconds faster to less than a second. So, I mean, it depends. So it's partially, a lot of it has to do just with how the game has been programmed. Like
Right.
what's actually, the code that's on that disc or that digital download you have. So some of it you can't really control. Some games you won't see really any difference. So I would say that if you don't have a system already, and you've been thinking of upgrading from like a 360, this, and you want that fancy controller, this is a great bundle, as you said, in terms of cost, because you know you might see at least some like minor, like super minor improvement, but I don't think you're missing out if you're already an Xbox One owner.
I agree with that, but yeah, I also agree that if you haven't bought an Xbox One yet, this is the one to buy. If again, $500 is still a lot, and because there are $350 like they're going to be killer holiday bundles out there. There's that Forza bundle we were talking about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I was just going to joke. How long until this just comes with Forza 6 for free?
Yeah, because it's that's the Forza 6 bundle. That's a 1 terabyte, and it's $400. So that's a good value.
Pretty
but
good.
Yeah, I think this is the way to go, just because any speed advantage you can get is always better. And even if this doesn't really affect games, it is going to affect the operating system and just make the OS a little zippier.
Yeah, well,
because that's on the SSD partition.
And you know that every update from here on out is going to be optimized for this machine.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, going forward, like, this is probably the start of a new trend, right? Like, this is probably the new base model. And going forward,
You think so?
every model will probably have that hard drive, these upgrades. Because
You
they
think
can't.
so?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Because the hard drive, the
yeah.
cost on the hard drive, I think this is going to be a premium SKU. It might get better as a premium SKU, like maybe the SSD partition will get better, or they'll use it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I still think the bottom end, Microsoft still needs to make the Xbox One as cheap as possible next to the PS4, given the market position. And you're not going to do that with an SSD partition.
That's true.
In there.
Also, the scale of economy, right? So if they're just producing a ton of Xbox Ones with that 5400 RPM drive, they can buy a ton of them in bulk, right? And it keeps the cost low. I don't think they're ever going to sell enough of these to really warrant that.
Yeah, that's a good point, because, like, public facing, if you put that machine next to the one that Ryan just held up, like, most people aren't going to know the difference.
True.
They're not going to recognize, like, what the improvements do in a significant enough capacity to be like, I've got to have that one.
Well, and this machine's really for the people who really care about those seconds.
Yeah, it's for big tech nerds like us.
It's for enthusiasts, about people who are hardware enthusiasts,
Totally.
exactly. Whereas, honestly, I'm actually super excited for all the different bundles that are coming out, just because it reminds me of the 360s, best days, where every holiday season I'm like, damn, I can't afford to buy a bajillion consoles.
Yeah, I need another Xbox, but I can't.
Yeah, but speaking to your point, exactly, it's like if you look at that really beautiful Halo 5 console, which I still want
It's
everybody.
so good.
It's so pretty. Versus getting, I don't know, 3 seconds quicker load
Yeah.
times, I think I'll choose the pretty, because I'm a shallow person.
I'm with you. Yep.
See, the other thing to keep in mind too. Now, this console ships on November 3rd, and by that time, now it's not going to be out of the box, because these things are being like manufactured in China or wherever and boxed up and shipped over on boats now, basically. But by the time you were to purchase this on November 3rd and bring it home, the new dashboard should be out. So even though out of the box it'll be the current dashboard,
No, I don't know that's necessarily true, because I've been keeping up with it, and the last I've seen, they haven't announced an actual date yet for the dashboard launch. They have just said November 2015. So this
It's got
is
to be before Tomb Raider.
so this is the 3rd. So it could be right around then, but you might not see it until the Black Friday onslaught.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those things where, like, they're not going to do it before Halo because they don't want to muck with that launch. Like, that launch
Correct.
is so important for them.
Right.
That anything they do that disrupts it
it'll
is
be in
like,
preview before then.
Yeah,
We'll have
yeah,
seen it.
of
We'll be
course.
playing
Yeah,
with
because
it.
that's preview supposed to come out this month, or September.
Soon.
Yeah, September.
Yeah.
But before Tomb Raider, it's like, well, that's the other big holiday game that's going to sell a lot. Let's get it out in time for, like, the new one, so that when people buy Tomb Raider and that's the game they get for Christmas for their new Xbox One, like, this is the upgraded, better UI that they have.
Well, the most important thing you started to hit on it is when people open this on Christmas morning, they're just
going to have, like, everything that's updated.
Again, it won't be out of the box, but it'll download and update the OS before the Christmas morning folks even open it.
They'll never even see the old one.
But where I was going with that is the new OS should be out right around the same time this console is, and the new OS is I got to look at it at E3 behind closed doors, and it's being designed. Mike Ibarra, who listens to the show, who's a great guy at Microsoft, he gave me the demo, and he said, yeah, it's the whole point of it is just speed. Like, we want everything to be much quicker than it is on the current dashboard. So it's quick on the current hard drives. it may really shine on this SSD partition.
Yeah, I mean, if using this kind of technology, if you constantly are loading something very specific, like if you're constantly playing like Master Chief Collection, you're constantly pulling up Netflix, that should load quicker.
Right.
In
well,
theory.
there's not a chance in hell Master Chief Collection fits on the SSD partition, considering it's like a 70 gig game.
Well, elements of it, right? So it's whatever you're using most frequently, but
Right.
most likely it's going to be, as you said, the operating system.
Yeah.
So just elements of that.
But yeah, I would totally buy this one if it's in your budget and you haven't picked up a console yet. I don't think I would upgrade to this.
No, I
It's
wouldn't
not
recommend
significant
it.
enough.
And honestly, you can, if you put your games and like even your apps and stuff on an external drive, you can see some load time improvements just
Yeah.
based
Yeah.
on that, because it's not having to. The theory is that because it's not running the operating system, it's a little less sluggish because of that, even though it's going over, an external kind of connection.
Yeah, USB 3.0.
Yeah. Because in theory, internal connection, like the SATA connection, should be faster, but it actually worked out in our tests that you still saw some improvements over the 5400 drive.
Right. And then the other part, too, the other thing they threw in, there's a Lunar White controller that's going to be a GameStop exclusive that's out at the same time.
So pretty.
It's really nice. It's just like almost an Arctic white with a like gold chrome D-pad and
So pretty.
triggers.
I have not seen this.
It looks really
It's
nice.
super
I will
pretty.
look it
I
up.
will
Classy.
say this is a tiny nitpick, but I'm actually super bummed that the face buttons are not colored.
See, I
Oh,
like
they
it.
did the black and white.
I like it when it's
Yeah.
like that.
I don't know. I think it's because I super love those like Skittles colored buttons from
Sure,
the
yeah,
360 controller. So
Who did that first? Like, what controller had the black and white buttons?
Well, there was an Xbox 360 controller.
Yeah.
Remember? It was when it was the one with the upgraded D-pad where you'd like
oh,
rotate
they like
it.
rotates. Yeah.
That was that one had it was gray and all the buttons were just a monochrome
yes,
gray.
you're right. That would have been a great trivia question. Sorry, listeners, we beat you to it.
The name of the controller, we can't think of the
Yeah.
name. I don't know.
I'm
if
sure
it
it was
even had
probably
a name.
also called Elite or something. Like
Maybe.
they love that name
They
so
do.
much.
So there, that is another. We need to start keeping tabs on all these Xbox Ones. We know we've got a
God.
Forza one, we've got a Halo one.
Someone build us a flowchart.
There is still, I believe,
Infographic.
Yeah.
the Gears Ultimate bundle should still be out there as
Yeah.
well, which is just the plain
Just the regular box
the
with
plain
a,
one, but with with a free copy of the game.
there's a Madden one, isn't there?
Madden bundle, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
feel like
plenty.
I'm missing one.
But I like. Remember back in the day when you used to get like 2 free games in a bundle? That was.
I think that took a bit of time though, didn't it? Like it took a few years
Oh
before it
yeah,
was
no,
like
it wasn't.
you got Pure and Lego Star Wars in a bundle,
Yeah.
or you got like these 2 action games, or you got these 2 sports games.
Yeah,
Well, technically they already did that last fall with the Assassin's Creed bundle.
That's true.
true.
Technically.
Fair point.
They also didn't they do a thing? Maybe this was the same thing where you got like you got an Assassin's game for sure, and then you got like a choice of 3 other games.
I remember that.
That might have been like a Microsoft Store thing
Yeah.
where it's like buy this and
Oh,
you get
yeah,
to pick
yeah,
one
yeah.
of these 3 things.
Yeah, that was last fall.
But-
That was
And I think
Microsoft
that's how they
Store.
got like I think it was when Destiny came out. It was like the best way to get Destiny on Xbox One. Like that's how they got the attention for that game on Xbox One, which was brilliant.
In any case, I love the fact that there's lots of good deals to be had on Xbox One. You can basically choose which cool new free game you want.
Awesome.
Can't beat that. Halo 5, speaking of big games, that's out October 27th. It's coming up.
Yeah.
Excited.
Yeah.
A
ready.
lot more excited this week than I was last week.
Why,
Holy
Mitch?
Christ, that opening cinematic was cool. I opened that up,
Do tell.
and when I opened that up the morning it was released, I was like, oh, Halo opening cutscene, and everyone's showing like awesome pictures, like, oh, here's Buck's face, and like it looks like Nathan Fillion and weird Uncanny Valley stuff, and everyone looks really cool. And I was like, all right, cool, looks like a mission briefing thing. But when they jump out of that ship and they go down the mountain, and it basically is them surfing down an avalanche of a crashing ship, and it's one shot, good lord, that is so good.
Yeah.
I just love watching them ground pound as like part of their
Yes.
flow. Like it
Well,
was
and that's why
fantastic.
that was so cool. Is like you saw the in-game abilities and
smart
stuff that
abilities.
you can do, which is like I love that it was one shot. And it was like following one guy, and like they jumped up into the ship and threw out a grunt, and it followed the grunt down, and then there was like Vale running down on the ground or whoever. Really, really cool cutscene showing off just like here's this cool new team. They matter. They're really good at what they do. They are the new they are as good as the Spartan 2s ever were. Or
Whoa,
are
whoa,
they?
whoa. Let's not
Or
let's
are
not-
they?
Whoa.
let's not get hasty here.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. But yeah, and that's of course the big thing people are talking about with this, and I guess spoiler warning if you just don't want to ruin the opening cutscene of the game for yourself.
Spoilers:
which I
they
get.
snowboard on the corpses of elites.
But okay, are they gone? Are those people
they
gone?
gone?
Did they fast
All
forward?
right, it's just us now.
There is no blue team is not in the opening cutscene.
Not surprising. They really want you to like Locke.
Yeah, but I think I see what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
I'm onto their plan.
Oh, do
They're-
tell.
It's the blue balls approach to
The Spartan Blue
to
Balls.
character
You
design.
wanted to-
Spartan Blue Balls
Spartan
team.
Blue
You
Balls.
you so
Blue
it's
balls
so
team.
bad that you just have to. I got it.
You know
I
what
got
I'm
it.
talking about? Where
You're just like hungering
it's
for
just
Master Chief.
it's withheld from you. It is. You want it, you can't get it. Yeah, they're making us wait and wait and wait,
Yeah.
and then probably even into the first couple missions of the game.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, that
at
would
least,
make me angry.
and then it's gonna be like he just shows up. Like the Spartan 2s will just be all like, "What's up? We're here. It's cool."
I hope they do a good job of that, if that is what happens, because nothing was more aggravating than Assassin's Creed 3,
Oh my
where it
God.
took six to 8 freaking hours before,
before
you
you
actually.
before you played as the dude on the box. What? Oh my god! I still get like so legitimately angry at that game. Oh, nothing. I don't think any game has ever
So
made
yeah,
me more
there's a
angry
point
than that
where
game.
it goes past just your
That's
normal
true.
blue balls to
Yes.
just pain.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you just get angry.
The point of no return. But that seems to be the strategy is to just we're gonna wait. We're gonna like you. I think that I think what Microsoft is doing it's either they see okay, we're either gonna make them like Locke and Fireteam Osiris, or just get them so sort of desperate and aggravated that when she finally does show up, they're going to just freak out
Yeah.
and be so happy. So either way, it's a win-win for Microsoft, provided that they don't go over that line
Yes.
that you're referring to, Elena.
Yes. Don't do that. Please don't. I don't want to be angry at this franchise.
But actually, what I do think is going to happen, it's September 1st, or that's when the trailer hit, was yesterday.
Yeah.
I think, the game's out the end of October. I think with the actual marketing campaign of the game, I think come October 1st up to the release, it's going to be all Chief all the time. That's when it's going to be like, nope, he's here. Here's your bro. Here's your buddy. And you're going to be like, yay, can't wait for Halo 5. I'm totally going to buy it. That's how I see the marketing campaign going.
I will say though, and I might be a very small like use case here kind of sort of thing, but I got super excited just watching this, even though there's no Master Chief,
Yeah?
just because
Yeah.
I came to ODST super late. Like I only finished that maybe a month or two ago when it
did
came
you play
out.
it on Master Chief Collection? Nice.
Like, I never played the original version
Oh,
on
I'm
360.
kind of jealous of you, actually.
I know, but it's super pretty. It's super pretty. It's nice.
Yeah.
But I love the vibe of that. Like, actually, for me, that's like my soft spot. Like, that's my favorite of
Noir?
them. Yeah.
Noir Halo?
So I got that vibe.
Marty O'Donnell's second best score after Halo 2.
I got that vibe just watching the opening, even before, like, you see Buck. And I'm like, cool, I can dig this. Like, if Master Chief is not around, I can dig it if
Yeah.
it has that kind of same vibe where it's about the team and about their stories and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
They're also doing like the macho military bro stuff that like they're happy to be there, and like some of the dialogue in that trailer is really dumb. But whatever, it's Halo. I don't really care. But
Still love Palmer, though. She's the best.
of course, it's also like if you're coming into this, and granted it does say Halo 5 in the title, if you're not like intimately familiar with this franchise, this game is going to be overwhelming. You need to remember so many names. It's like, okay, there's John, Linda, Fred, Locke, Tanaka, Vale. Like, okay, slow down. Who's Halsey? Where's
Yeah.
Julam Dama? What is it? How do I spell that? There's
I'm-
so many names to keep track of.
I will say though that I'm not super into the franchise, like in terms of like lore and
Sure.
reading all the transmedia,
extended universe
yeah,
stuff.
the transmedia stuff, right? So we were talking right before the show, and I had to get you to fill me in on some of those details. But even that, I still freaking loved playing Master Chief Collection, Halo 4. The gameplay is good, and as long as you understand the general premise, which is shoot those guys, don't shoot those guys.
Yeah.
That person's important. It's all right. I'm good.
Yeah, it's all good. So we're getting close with Halo 5. I remain crazy excited for this game.
Me too.
I mean, again, I've always loved and defended Halo 4. I think it was a great campaign.
Me too.
But I think this one's going to be better. I think this is their second go around as a team. They've learned a lot together. They learned a lot from the community, and just I've always wanted to play with other Spartan 2s in a campaign setting, and what better Spartan 2s than the ones that I came to know in the first few Halo books that are awesome. So yay. What else is yay, Mitch? Game you want that's high on your list.
Star Wars Battlefronts. Probably legitimately my most anticipated game of the year. The beta,
It's understandable.
The beta begins.
Yeah,
in
it's
October.
on every platform.
Every platform.
Thankfully no like console exclusive or anything going on with it, which you'd sadly expect with these things nowadays.
Yeah, well, especially given that like there's so much PlayStation marketing behind Battlefront.
I think I know why there's no exclusivity.
Yeah.
Because I think they
Disney.
No, I
they
think
don't
they
care.
legitimately. I think they want to break the game with this test.
Could be.
Because if they have a disastrous launch,
Oh my God, yeah.
the whole game's online. You know, it
a
would
good
be
point.
like, remember how Destiny's launch was really great? Like they had like a couple of initial super brief hiccups, but Destiny worked great, and always has worked great. This is, I think, in a similar boat in the sense of, I mean, it's built differently from an online infrastructure perspective, but if Battlefront has, Master Chief Collection-esque trouble,
Sure.
the game's doomed. It's over.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole thing. So I actually think they're putting... I'm sure Sony wanted exclusivity on a beta, but my guess is that DICE and EA said, no, we need this beta to break the game so that we're ready for day one.
It's also like Star Wars is universal, and to lock it to a platform doesn't make any sense. Like you
True.
want this to be the biggest selling game of the year. If you're EA, like this is something you don't mess with. You get it in as many hands as possible. You get as many people playing it and realizing like, oh yeah, it does look that good.
Yeah,
It is
great
everything
point.
I wanted it to be. Hopefully, and that's just in their interest to make it public.
The beta is going to feature the 40-player Walker Assault on Hoth multiplayer map, which that's the one we played at E3.
Yeah, a lot of this is the E3 stuff that we played,
And you get to...
which is fine because it was great.
Yeah, it was super fun, and you get to play. You can be Luke or Vader if you find the right little power-up
Little
icon on the
icon
map,
thing.
which I did not.
I didn't either.
Granted, I only played literally one round. But
Lucky Zach Ryan did. You can go read Zach Ryan's preview
That's
about
true.
what it was like to wreck everything as
that
Luke
is true.
Skywalker.
You'll get the beta will also have the co-op survival mission on Tatooine and the newly revealed drop zone mode, of which there are no details as to what exactly that is. But that's a pretty nice beta. We don't know how to get in, but again, I think it's going to be free for all. I think it'll just basically be a demo, just not called a demo.
Yeah, register, download.
And it also doesn't say how long it's going to last. I would suspect a weekend. Just
You think that's short?
Yeah.
Wow, I figured it'd be like a week or so.
You think so? I think that's too much and then you risk people not buying the game.
That's true.
Well, it's only still a limited slice.
Yeah.
Like it is 2 levels.
And on top of that, they said that nothing's transferring over.
That's also true.
So there's
Good
no
point.
like real incentive for people to, play that and then
Never go back,
Never
yeah.
go back.
Fair point. I guess we'll see. But so let's see here. What was the other note on this? Oh yeah, just that the other so we've already had Rainbow Six delayed to December, and it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing there are no other the other shooters are all hitting either before or after this.
Yeah.
Because if I were one of the big shooters hitting even at the time the beta hits, I would be very concerned.
If I was Halo, I'd be a little bit spooked.
Halo's the end of the month, and they said this is
but
early October.
Yeah. But if I was Halo, I'd be like, oh man, they're like biting off a chunk of our food right now. If
think
they were
so?
earlier in the month.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Star Wars is Star Wars, and Halo is great,
Well, I'm
and Halo
not
is huge.
disputing that.
But man, I would be scared if I was Halo.
Well, I
earlier
just don't
in the
think
month.
they're gonna. I don't think they're overlapping at all.
No, they're so far apart. It's nice that it's like the cadence is Battlefront beta, big gap Halo, big gap Battlefront.
Yeah, and then Call of Duty it will be after, and the Destiny Taken King is before.
Jeez, yeah.
So
It's a great holiday season. For
Shooter
all of us.
task.
That's never minding like Tomb Raider and Fallout, and honestly, like the Uncharted collection is
Right.
another HD
Well,
re-release.
well, I was
but
just
I like
talking
those
about
games.
just purely in the same genre, just
Yeah.
in the shooter space. All right, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. Mitch, I know you're psyched for this.
Yeah.
As am I. because Deus Ex is fantastic, and somehow this is such a beautiful, rare case of a new developer getting it right when bringing back an old, revered thing. And here they are.
I agree.
Hey, Human Revolution was really good. Mankind Divided has been given a date, February 23rd. Same day as Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Stop
You
releasing
guys,
games in February. Just stop. Get them out of there. It's too busy already. February is November 2.0.
It is. You've got Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, and Mirror's Edge Catalyst on the same day, which is a total Sophie's choice for me.
Mirror's Edge.
No, I'm playing Mirror's Edge. Of
course.
Yeah.
That wasn't a difficult choice.
No, it was a brief dilemma.
It's just like, well, you're dead. Sorry, you're off the boat. Not dead. Just we'll rescue you later.
Yeah, we'll come back for
We'll
you.
come back
Here's
for
a
you.
life vest
Yeah, stay here for a bit.
and
we'll be
some
back.
water.
But also, not an Xbox game, but XCOM 2 is out. Was delayed to February as well. So
Oh,
that's
yeah?
like 3 super high-profile revivals of beautiful things that people loved that are coming back.
Yeah.
Mirror's Edge, of course, from 2008. XCOM 2 being a sequel to a great revival, similar to Mankind Divided, a sequel to a great revival. But, yeah, dude, man. February. You go, February.
There's too much good stuff. Spring 2016 is so busy. It's so not.
Well, and then, like, March is Uncharted on PS4.
I think there's
and,
like some Witcher. One of the expansions for The Witcher comes out in that time frame.
Dude.
Pretty soon, it's just gonna be all year round, guys.
I know.
Well,
Like,
the summer is the last bastion of... Because even this year, there are 3 significant games releasing in December, which we've talked about how... Is that a bad idea? Probably, but maybe we are getting to the saturation point where it's not a bad idea anymore, and there's just nowhere else to go, and people will buy.
Because the problem is that if you are trying to go against something like Battlefront, you're just host. So you
Yeah.
have to pick some other time.
Yeah, you might as well just take that gun and aim it right at your foot, because that's where you're gonna pull that trigger and shoot yourself in the foot. But here's the other thing with Deus Ex. We've got a release date. We got a pre-order campaign, which this one's gonna rankle some folks, I think.
yeah, this is like
Kind of
Square
strange.
Enix is a monster and it must be stopped. Level of gross.
It's called Augment Your Pre-Order, as well as, of course, a collector's edition with a 12-inch Adam Jensen statue. But the publisher is letting people pick what pre-order bonuses they receive among a handful of different options, with different tiers opening up when higher overall pre-order numbers are hit. For example, the first tier offers 3 in-game packs, such as a classic pack or enforcer pack, to choose from. Here we go. And if enough people pre-purchase Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Square Enix is promising to release the game 4 days early.
If you can do it, just do it.
Yeah. Why are we waiting till just so it comes out on Friday then, not Tuesday? Is that
I guess. I don't know. This is so gross. Like, I understand why they're doing it, and it's cool to see them like trying to motivate people who are already interested in it to get more. But it's also like super devious. It's super getting like it's exploitative. It's trying to get people who wouldn't necessarily get it like interested because
exactly.
like, oh, I can get it early or I get free stuff. Like, no, you are being scammed.
Well, I guarantee you that the game. So I just said the release date's February 23rd. It's February 19th,
Okay.
which is a Friday now, because there's no
Yes.
way they're gonna get to February and be like, sorry, you guys didn't pre-order enough copies,
Yeah.
so you have to wait till Tuesday.
We're taking our ball
it's
and
gonna
going
be,
home.
No, it's completely artificial. I guarantee you,
Right.
this is an artificial construct.
Yes.
It'll be. Fans came out in droves to support
Exactly.
the new Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
'Cause-
It'll be out on Friday.
Yeah, 'cause
Enjoy, you guys.
Nobody wants
Thanks for supporting us.
Nobody's gonna do this and then say like, "Man, you didn't do it. Sorry."
Yeah.
Like, no, that makes you look bad. It makes you look disrespectful to your fans. It's like you didn't live up to this promise. This game's coming out on the Friday before.
I'm just still worried in general with this kind of promise because things happen. Games hit, bugs insert, like things. And so can you imagine like a day one patch?
Yeah.
Like that day one patch is going to be like, whoo, if things don't go well. And then you just piss everybody off. And I'm not trying to jinx it. I'm just worried. That's the kind of promise
No, you're
where,
right, like,
where
if-
you're like, whoo, you're putting yourself out there, man.
If something goes wrong in certification and they need you're right, if they need a day one patch, and then they gotta like, oh wait, we don't have those 4 days to get to finish the patch off.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to jinx it, but man, that's one of those things. Like, man, you want to like under promise, you know?
Yeah.
Duke, what are you doing? We're here. We have to go to class. I'm lining up for Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Dude, it's not coming out till Tuesday. That whole thing was a big lie. I'm just going to wait it out.
I believed in them.
I think it's going to happen. I pre-ordered the collector's edition. I need that statue for my dorm room.
It will help me attract many new friends.
We're going to use it to hold our joints. Oh, man. Finally, Mitch Dyer, this is a video game that we're all fond of.
Yeah.
It got the stank on it, and it never
did.
got the stank off.
Yeah, it also probably never got the sales on, which is why Evolve is free this weekend for you to check out on Xbox One. Is it also on a 360? No, it never went to 360.
No, just current
so
gen
it's
only.
free on Xbox One this weekend, so you can go in, check it out, play it, see if it's your thing, and then purchase it if it is. I'd be very curious to see what the player base is like now, what it will be like during the weekend, and what it changes.
Yeah. They did. Remember this? They did this. Microsoft did this with Sunset Overdrive last fall. They did a free, full access weekend.
That's right.
Which I thought was super smart at the time, and I think this
Yeah.
is super smart. I mean, you're not losing any money by putting the game up for free for a weekend. You only potentially gain some sales. You gain some new players.
Well, it's also like if the sales are going to happen, they're probably going to happen at retail, which they're not because the game's been out for like 8 months. People aren't probably lining up to buy that game at retail, so this is a good way to kind of reinvigorate Evolve, a game that probably needs that reinvigoration.
And it's been out enough. There have been enough patches and content updates now where even if maybe you did try it out in like say the beta but then didn't buy it, you might be like, oh, let me give this another look now that it's sort of done and polished. And
the smart thing to do, I think it would be really good if they could figure out a way to be like, all right, you played it the weekend, it was free, and then you bought it before a certain time, you get X amount of DLC for free. Because the Evolve DLC is really, really gross. It's really expensive. It's needlessly so.
Oh, you mean the $15 monster?
Yeah, and then they just keep, I think they're new
but
heroes.
But then the free everything else.
Yeah.
Well, sort of.
There are packs of like hunters as well, right, that cost? I think.
Yes.
Like I can't remember the rollout plan for that.
But the nice thing is they don't split the player base. Is even if you don't have it, you can still play against it.
Oh,
like
that's
in
cool.
if another dude has it, another player has it, you can fight against whatever content they have. You just can't use it yourself, which that part's at least
so
nice.
if you don't have the rock monster,
rock-
I want to call it Tiny because it looks exactly like Tiny from Dota 2, but the rock monster.
The Thing, yes.
Yeah, that guy. Probably some dumb name like the Behemoth.
No, yeah, that's Behemoth.
Yes, I knew it. I
just said it a second ago. It subconsciously seeped into your head when you weren't listening to me, but you were.
I also remember like the contest they had to name that thing was like, we want to name it. Here are 4 synonyms for the word big. Please pick one, and that will be the name of the Rock Man.
It's Big McLarge, Huge Man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Largy McLarge.
Mitch Dyer, what can we spend our hard-earned money on this week?
It's happening! Fall is here. Early.
It's true.
It's only September,
I'm
and we have
awake now.
so many video games. Yeah. Good. Mad Max is out. We liked it a lot more than everyone else. Brandon Terrell's review, very, very positive. His review got me a lot more excited for this game than it did when I saw it at E3.
Yeah.
Than when I heard about it after E3. But sounds like Avalanche made a lot of big changes. The game looks really good right now. I'm very interested to check it out.
I really like the car combat stuff myself.
It's going to be a long time before I get to Mad Max, though, because I'm currently obsessed with Metal Gear Solid 5. Phantom Pain is out this week. The game is really good. I have a wolf puppy. I go back to my base and everyone talks about how cute the wolf puppy is. The game's a good wolf puppy game. It's also got some other stuff in it. So that's out this week. Big open world Kojima game. Dishonored Definitive Edition is out. How did that fare review-wise? Did people like the re-release? I don't see why they wouldn't.
They completely, I guess to their credit, Bethesda's credit, I would say, they didn't market the crap out of this.
Okay.
They just they put it out with no fanfare and said, here it is. It's ported up to the new consoles with all the old DLC.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why this wouldn't be great. I don't know. I wondered if people were like, oh, it doesn't hold up or something crazy. So Disney Infinity 3.0 is also out. That's a game that I
Don't
will...
sleep on that game.
It seems really cool. Also, the toys are incredible.
They're really nice. looked at them up close
Yeah, they're
until I actually
fantastic.
went to an event at a pre-E3 event
Yeah.
for this, and it's like, wow, these like final character thing. The toys are really nice.
Yeah, and they're
Super
getting more
slick
intricate.
toys.
Like when they first started doing Disney Infinity stuff, the toys were cool, but not super detailed. Now they're like the Hulkbuster Iron Man is so cool. It's got so many pieces. It's like way bigger than the rest. It's bigger than the Hulk.
Nice.
All the Star Wars Rebels characters have like tons of pieces of like different armors and stuff that they wear. Really high detailed. The combat in that game seems really cool. The vehicle stuff seems really cool. Can't wait to play that.
Metal Gear 5, a 10 on IGN, by the way.
Yeah.
A rare 10, which does not mean perfect, means masterpiece. It literally says right underneath.
How can it be perfect if the story is not so good?
There's no such thing as a perfect game.
Portal. Name a flaw. Name one. Nothing digital this week, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think
Given
that
that-
summer spotlight's over.
Summer
Which
Spotlight, where every Wednesday had 30 releases.
Makes sense now that there's all these
Yeah.
AAA mega games out every day for the next 3 months.
Yeah. Also, the Forza 6 demo is out this week.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Forza games, because Horizon 2 did this last year. Horizon 2 and Forza Motorsport 6, I think, are the only AAA games this generation to get pre-release demos. Remember, that used to be a totally common thing, but
Yeah.
and it ended.
Did Sunset Overdrive have a demo? Or just that free weekend thing?
I believe it was just the free weekend thing in lieu of a demo.
Where something last year had a demo.
But I'm talking pre-release.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I mean, there have been quote unquote
Betas,
betas that are, but I'm talking a just playable demo. Download it, enjoy it. It's not like, oh, the servers are. It's just a beta. The servers are going
they go down.
offline. This is the only time other than Horizon 2 that I can recall this happening.
Yeah.
So that tells me that Microsoft not only, of course, wants to get this game some in front of people, because Forza's problem, as I've written about on IGN, is that it's sort of almost, it has no problems. It's just like, well, yep, another year, another
sure
really
is a
good
good
Forza
Forza
game,
game.
and so you don't even think about it. It's almost a victim of its own success.
Yeah.
And so it's good on them to get this in front of people, but it also tells me they are super confident by putting a demo out 2 weeks before. They're saying, yep, here's our game, try it out. We're super proud of it.
Yeah.
And I did, actually. I got to play the first few hours of it. They gave me I went to an event where they had the final build. It's really good. Wrote a big preview with a ton of video on IGN.
Nice.
Like the first 18 minutes of just when you start the career mode. Got some nighttime racing,
Ooh, you get some
video
weather
of
stuff?
wet weather stuff. So check all that out on
Cool.
IGN.
The Dear God is free on Xbox One this month until the 16th. Is the Dear God all month and Tomb Raider starts?
Correct.
Okay, so Dear God is free all month, and then as of September 16th until October 15th, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition is free on Xbox One. So if you missed it, absolutely play Tomb Raider. It's really good.
So good.
Xbox 360 has Battle
Except the
Stations.
story gets
Yeah,
dumb at
it's
the
so
end.
dumb. Just don't worry about any of those people in that game that are not named Lara Croft. Xbox 360 has Battlestorm Pacific from September 1 till September 15th, at which point we switch over to get Crysis 3 for free. All of that requires you to have gold subscription. Keep in mind.
True. You a Crysis guy?
Not really. I liked Crysis 1. I thought Crysis 2 was okay. Did not like Crysis 3 at all.
Yeah, Crysis to me always felt like EA was trying to sort of brute force it into becoming a franchise.
Yeah.
I was just like, no, it's just not there.
Yeah. It also it pioneered so much cool stuff. And at the time of Crysis, it was the game, right? Can you run Crysis is one of those things. By the way, I'm waiting for the minute where our phones can run Crysis.
Oh, it's coming.
That's going to be the moment, right? That's oh, okay.
It's coming sooner than you think.
I agree.
If NVIDIA has their way,
Yeah.
at least for Android.
So that'll be fun. But yeah, Crysis 3, by then, it was just this alien cyber suit garbage is boring. I just don't care. You got a bow? Great. It's the worst bow in video games.
Crysis 2 on 360 hit right when there was that. You guys remember the very, very brief fad with 3D?
Yes.
Stereoscopic 3D. There was a season where Crysis 2 came out. It actually looked really nice in 3D with the 3D glasses. Batman Arkham City.
Oh yeah, I remember that,
3D.
like Mortal Kombat.
I played all of Arkham City in 3D.
Really?
Yeah, it was good too.
Yeah, because
Wow.
you have a 3D TV.
I do.
right?
Yeah, which I haven't used the 3D on it since then.
Gears 3, I think, right?
I don't believe Gears 3 was in 3D. I don't think so.
I don't remember.
But whatever the Assassin's Creed that year had a hacked in stereoscopic 3D.
Oh, that's
and
right.
then
I forgot
remember
about
this
that.
one, Mitch? Remember Top Spin 4 had a really
Oh,
bad.
yeah, I remember that.
Remember that?
I did not know they were still making
do.
Top
I
Spin
remember
games.
testing it out, being like, "This
Oh,
is
the tennis game.
terrible."
Yes, I don't know why I thought Top Spin
the
was golf.
game is awesome.
Yeah,
the game
yeah,
was
yeah.
great, but the 3D was awful. Like, it was clear a programmer had just been told, "You have like 2 days.
Yeah.
Put this in."
They
Like,
killed themselves to make this thing that just wasn't
I
great.
guess.
Yep, Gears 3 had 3D.
Wow.
did.
Who knew?
I remember. 'Cause
Elena
I remember
knew.
testing it for
Yeah.
Some
3D
feature.
TVs.
Yeah.
So what year was that?
2011.
That's
Yep.
right, and that was all those things we just said were 2011. That was and then as soon as that holiday was over, we never saw 3D pop up in video games again, and it hasn't since. It's gone.
I think that's also largely has to do with the fact that 3D TVs just never really took off the way
To a
that
point.
I think the industry
Yeah.
was hoping.
Yeah,
So
and it was
everybody
probably,
was doing it, and that's why VR for me is a big concern because everyone's like, "No, 3D is here to stay. We're all gonna do it." And I'm like, "Okay."
I think VR is a little different though, just because of just the hardware and
Yeah.
the people who are interested in it are different than people who would go out and say, "Do I buy the 3D TV or do I not buy the 3D TV?"
All right, let's come right back, and we will give away the contents of this box. It's an Xbox.
Oh man.
Be right back. All right, unlock block trivia time.
Kaboom.
Literally heavy.
This is at stake.
Heavy prize.
It's not a plain Xbox. There is a custom Gears of War painted Xbox in here. If you are curious what it looks like, odds are you didn't win, FYI. I hate to break it to you, but only one person won. But if you want to see what this bad boy looks like, again, I'm not going to open it because it's a real pain in the butt to
Yeah.
get back in nicely, and I want the winner to have a nice thing. We did open it already to do an unboxing video where we do show this to you. So look that up on IGN if you just look up.
Nice.
I don't know.
IGN Xbox unboxing.
Or maybe like, IGN win custom Xbox One or something like that. It is a Gears of War console. It's white. It's got a sweet Marcus Phoenix sort of stencil thing on the
Nice.
top, matching
Nice.
I've not seen
controller.
this, so I'm gonna go look up this video.
Yeah, you should. And our winner, I did this completely randomly while also verifying that it would be a good. I started random
And then drill down to the
and
good
then
stuff.
was like, okay, is the random choice a half decent question? And fortunately, the first one I landed on was.
Nice.
So our winner is a resident of a town called Rolla, Missouri. I just want him to freak out a little bit, thinking it's him. Or if we've got
The
multiple.
other listener from Rolla is like, I did it!
Jonathan Black, congratulations,
Congrats, man.
You've won
This is
yourself
cool.
Yay.
a custom Xbox One. I hope you don't already have an Xbox.
Yeah, that's
One.
the ideal. Like the ideal
That's-
winner is like a listener who's like, I'll wait till it's like cheap. No, here we're gonna give you an Xbox.
All I want to say, Jonathan, I don't want to see this on eBay in a week.
We will be looking.
I mean, it's yours to do what you want with. Put it to good use. I hope do whatever you want with it, but enjoy one way or the other. His question is a good one. Jonathan Black, our Xbox One winner. The good news, by the way, if you didn't win, because Mitch, we got seriously probably close to 1,000 entries, I would
Yeah,
say.
it was. My inbox was blown up more. Like every time I refresh my email, it's like, oh, important work email. Boom, 30 emails about
Yeah.
trivia. So I'm like, oh, I'm glad I have a filter
Filter
for
that,
this.
son.
I do.
I auto read it and throw it to a folder so that I can
the,
just go to that
the
folder.
good news is everyone that entered that didn't win is eligible for. Now I have 1 million good questions to
That's
choose
true.
from for future weeks. So if you're not already a listener, keep listening. You might win because normally we have like a download code for maybe an add-on or maybe a full game. Like right now, I've got an Assassin's Creed Black Flag code for
Oh yeah, from
probably
everyone who
next
got
week.
it from bundles.
Yeah. So there are good prizes, and you're all entered. You're all automatically entered now. So don't give up hope that you won't win a console, but there's still hope that you'll win something good. Jonathan's question is this: Summer of Arcade. We miss it. It debuted in 2008. The games featured that year were Bionic Commando Rearmed, Braid, Castle Crashers, Geometry Wars, Retro Evolve 2, and what? Elena, I'm going to go to you first as our guest.
Are we actually listing the choices so people know what we're choosing from?
Sure. Kingdom for Keflings, Aces of the Galaxy, Galaga Legions, or Age of Booty. Which of those joined the first ones I read as that initial crop of Summer of Arcade titles? I will admit, I narrowed this to 2, but couldn't remember which one it specifically was. So Jonathan actually stumped me on this one.
Nice. Bonus
Yeah.
points.
I
You win another Xbox console.
Mitch in the lead with 14 points for the year in the quest for the Dookie Trophy here in the middle of the table.
It will be mine.
Destin, who is too busy watching Destiny live streams to do the show, second place with 12. Marty with 11. So, Mitch, you've got a chance to open up a nice lead.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fingers
So,
crossed.
Elena, what say you?
I'm blanking so hard right now.
All right, fair enough. You got
Thinking
you
so
got a
hard.
1 in 4 chance.
I'm just gonna stab a finger at this and go with C, Galaga Legions.
Mitchell?
So I don't remember when any of these came out, except I'm pretty sure I know when Kingdom for Keflings came out because I reviewed it back when I first started freelancing for bigger websites, and I reviewed it for a competitor, and you can go read that review now. I tried to give it a really high score, and they were like, "No, you can't give it that high of a score." And I was like, "No, this game's amazing. We should give it a higher score." Whatever. Kingdom for Keflings was awesome. I love that game. I think it ended that Summer of Arcade, but I could be mistaken. But I'm gonna say Kingdom for Keflings.
All right. Well, they say when you're taking a test, when in doubt, just guess C. Elena is correct.
Yes.
It's Galaga Legions.
I
Sorry,
finally
Mitch.
have a point, guys.
You're on the board. I'm going to add you on here.
It's a cheap one, but
Yeah.
It
I have
counts.
one.
It counts just the same.
You should play Kingdom for Keflings. That game is still really good.
It is.
The game is awesome.
One of those early Xbox Live Arcade games.
It appeals to me as someone who's still obsessed with ActRaiser. There really hasn't been a good world building God Sim game on console.
That was
in a while.
Ninja Bee, right?
Yeah.
Those guys were ace. I don't know what they're up to now.
Probably mobile stuff.
Probably. Because they made... what was the Live Arcade launch game that they make? It was like a space-based thing?
Oh, Outpost Coloki X.
That's it. Thank you.
Why do I know that?
It was good.
because you're Mitch Dyer.
Yeah. Did they also do Cloning Clyde?
I believe so.
And then they did that. No, wait. Yes. It was Clay that did the weird marshmallow thing.
It was?
Different game.
Anyway. Jonathan Black has won an Xbox One, custom Xbox One with the Kinect, by the way. There is a Kinect in here, which is super useful for navigating the UI.
Uh-huh.
It is.
It is.
Don't knock it.
I use
Absolutely.
it constantly. I always tell my Xbox, go to Amazon Instant Video.
And
Yeah.
I have noticed, by the way, so my game space, the room I play in is super tiny, and you've seen it, Elena. Mitch, I don't think you have. Maybe you have, but anyway, when I had my old computer, because I have my computer's in there too. It's like computer, one wall, couch, TV. My old computer sounded like just a jet engine when it was just turned on. The fans were super loud, and that apparently was enough ambient noise where I'm not going to say it because I don't want to piss people off, but trying to power up my Xbox
Yeah.
with my voice never worked.
Yeah, it
I
sucks.
never worked. But ever since I got my new computer built a couple months ago with Dan Stapleton, which is super quiet, it apparently brought the ambient noise level in the room down enough. It works all the time now. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm actually super curious. Did you actually calibrate your Kinect with your computer on or off?
Oh no, believe me, I went through it a million times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
How
it
funny.
just never worked in that space, in that circumstance, but now it does. So I'm happy. Yay. Yeah, my Kinect success rate it's still not perfect. It still misses. Like even now with the new computer, I'll just be on the couch and I'll try to pause stuff and might have to say it a couple times sometimes, but the success rate's pretty good overall.
Yeah.
It's good enough that I use it a lot. Anyway, congratulations again, Jonathan Black. All of you that entered, again, are eligible for prizes in future weeks. Please keep listening to the show if you haven't already. And we'll play again next week. Let's plug some stuff. Elena Yee, what are you up to? Where can we keep an eye on your work?
Well, as everybody knows from the beginning of the show, we've got some tech stuff next week that will have to do with Apple, very presumably iPhone 6s, iOS 9 updates.
Real quick, what do you think we're gonna get out of the 6S? The usual, just like better cameras,
Yeah.
processor revision, and that's it.
So it's kind of, that 2-year cycle where 1 year is the gigantic jump and the next year is more of like the incremental like improvement. So this year it's more of camera improvement. Rumor is that you might see the Force Touch, which is the pressure sensitive.
Like with Star Wars?
Might also get a new name. That's also another rumor. But the Force Touch kind of stuff. Outside of that, nothing really confirmed. Maybe 4K recording, like as part of that camera
that'd be great.
update. Yeah.
Jeez.
I know that
That would be an evil ploy to just get their iCloud subscriptions.
Right?
It's like, oh, your cloud's full. Like, oh, come on.
All I did was
Yeah.
take one baby picture, photo, video thing.
And then this week, I'm actually trying to put up best headsets for Xbox One. So if you guys are,
yes.
if you guys been looking for, purchase recommendations
'cause
for playing and not wanting to disturb the rest of your house,
We
have
had
something up.
you and I went through the Astros for Xbox One. Good old Astro let us down.
For the A40s,
Yeah.
it was disappointing.
I still maintain that Astro headsets are the worst. I do not like them.
It's really interesting because one of the things that, over the course of reviewing headsets, not even just here, but, previous gigs, that it really depends what you like, right? So
Yeah.
Astros are very warm. So if you don't like that and you like your sound, see, that's exactly why, right?
Yep.
Because if you like your sound to be a little bit more like perfectly balanced, I can see why you would absolutely not like the
Yeah,
Astros.
I don't like the sound it provides. I don't like their fit.
I love the fit.
Purely
It's
personal.
The
interesting,
fit
but
is actually weirdly good for me because I am like the
Yeah.
Goldilocks. I am the Goldilocks of headset
Whenever I
reviewers.
reviewed a headset, I had to come to you like, put this on. Is this weird? Is it good? What do you feel?
I
And you're
know.
like,
I have
a
don't
tiny
know.
head, so it's
I always get like this pinch right here, like
Yeah.
right by my
Under your
ears
jaw,
on
yeah.
the jaw, and I'll just get headaches like after like 1 or 2 hours of play, and it drives me nuts. So when I find a headset that actually is comfortable, I'm like, yes.
I'm telling you that HyperX Cloud is legit.
It's not specifically designed for
Yeah.
Xbox One, although you could use it with an adapter.
It does work with the adapter.
noise. Twitter, where are we at there?
I am at Morphing Ball. You can find me and all my cat gifs there.
Nice. The ball that morphs. Mitch Dyer.
I'm Matt MitchD on Twitter. You can catch up on all the stuff that we worked on at PAX on IGN.com/PAX, P-A-X. Go check out all that. Lots of stuff. I wrote a preview for Hard West on PC, some Vive stuff. That's it for now. The usual news stuff.
Groovy. IGN Prime is a thing that we would love it if you would subscribe to. We get $30, and you get a year of ad-free browsing and video viewing on IGN. So it's definitely they hooked all of us up with it. It's super useful, and it'll help keep the lights on here. So if you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so at IGN.com/Prime. You can follow me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. But I've been tweeting about. I just played Mitch. I just finished Lara Croft Go, and it's
Nice.
awesome.
It's so good.
It's. I think I still like Hitman Go just like a little bit more. I just
Okay.
love the mechanics of Hitman Go so much, but
There's more of them, I think is probably why.
Yeah.
Lara Croft is a much simpler game. It does
it's
more with less.
it's definitely a more elegantly designed game
Yes.
than Hitman Go is, whereas Hitman's very, very just mechanical.
Yeah.
But man, had a great time with
Love
Lara
that game.
Croft Go.
Already want more levels.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil it, but that one whole section.
Yep.
You already
Yep.
know what I'm talking about.
There are two
It's
whole
like,
sections of the
how
game where I'm
good is
like,
that?
how is this happening? This is
so
good.
So, and what's even cooler is I've been playing it with my 4-year-old, just in the sense of I play because
cute.
they're puzzle. But I ask her like, can you find the treasure?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's like
Nice.
sometimes it's super obvious the little pots of treasure, but sometimes it's like hidden away. And there have been a couple where she's like, I'm like, I didn't even see that.
There are so many of them where I was like, I know
found-
there's one in this world. It's somewhere here.
Yeah.
The thing, it shows me
Well-
it's here. And I just like start tapping with all my fingers all over the screen. I'm like, I guess I'm going to hit it somewhere.
I've been going back now that I've finished the game, and I'm trying to just 100% it to get all the why. I don't even know.
I did
why.
that too. I've finished that game 3 times and I've got every treasure. I got every trinket. I have all the outfits.
I wish more developers could do mobile the way Square Enix Montreal
Me
does mobile,
too.
which is super smart and super engaging.
Yeah, I met the head of that studio at PAX because they were all there because they like co-sponsored the
Did you
party
tell
we
them that
throw.
they're awesome?
I did, and I met Patrick, the head of that studio, and he's like, yeah, like we were sort of spun off in Square Enix Montreal to become Square Enix Montreal specifically for mobile, and he's like, I'll never go back. Like this is it. Like making small games with a lean team that are awesome is perfect for us.
Sweet.
Like, they are gonna
Did you
keep
ask
doing
him
that.
if we could please have some more free Hitman boards, even though they've given
Yeah.
us like 4 more free boards?
I told him, give me more tombs.
Anyway, most of you get Unlocked on iTunes. Just search Unlocked. It'll pop right up there. Subscribe, and then it'll be fed to you automatically each and every week. What else? Our Scalebound IGN First, Xbox fans, is done. Our last
Yeah.
thing posted on Monday, and it was
The AMA,
sort of,
right?
yeah. Hideki Kamiya, the creator, answered a whole ton of your questions. No, like earth-shattering revelations, but a lot
Sure.
of just good insight and good information
Yeah,
in
it's
there.
one of those things like if you've been following all month and you got like all the revelations throughout the month, it's like, okay, I have a really good understanding of this game. But what about this one thing?
Yeah.
And they go into that kind of
Yeah.
like really hardcore stuff.
So take a look at that. And if you missed anything, there's either the hub page or a cool way to do it is just if you go to youtube.com/IGN, you scroll down, you'll see there's an IGN First playlist with just all of the
Just hit go.
videos we
You got
did
like
for the
hours
month.
and hours of videos there.
Good stuff there. And our next IGN First for September, because of the holiday on Monday, will kick off on Tuesday the
Okay,
8th. So
8th.
next Tuesday, we'll get that rolling for you. And I think that's it for Elena Yee. Thanks for stopping by as always. Mitch Dyer.
Of course.
You rock. My name's Ryan McCaffrey. This was Podcast Unlocked, episode 210 for September. Here we go. The big push. It has begun. We'll see everybody next week.